Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up. Wake up.
Hello. As you may or may not be aware, Update 37 is on the horizon for Lord of the Rings Online, and I'm obviously very excited. I'm just giddy with joy. But rather than just spread the news on what's going on, I'd like to weigh in on some of the changes a little bit and open up a discussion, because I think there's too much little shit happening for me to just cover the news outright. If you like this form of content, be sure to like the video and subscribe for more, and let me know what you think of the changes down in the comments. Now, with all that out of the way, let's begin. So the game is getting a fat fucking stat crunch, and to be honest, it affects the entire progression of the game, but it only majorly affects the end game. I think this is a good compromise compared to the original plan, which was to not only slash every stat by 10, but SSG also wanted to reallocate every stat to do something different. Like, might would be your tanking stat, and agility would be the physical DPS stat, and will would be the magic DPS stat, but also give tactical mitigation. Wait, what? What the fuck? Like, imagine the value that, like, jewelry and armor and stuff would have. Like, you got rune keepers and your lore masters and your minstrels, and then the fucking tanks show up. Like, alright, we've had our fill with the might jewelry, now we need some of your stuff too. I think that if they wanted to do the whole thing, it would have been really clunky and messy, and nobody would have, like, gotten what they wanted. So I'm glad that they can, like, save some of the harder stuff for another update and give it the time that it really deserves. Honestly, I'm really a fan of the stat crunch, as I think the jump from 110 to 120, 120 to 130, and particularly 130 to 140 is absolutely ridiculous. Like, as somebody who has done it exactly one time before, I can say that these jumps are a pain, because I don't have the time to go through and grind, like, the Anvil or Remerkant for 100 hours, because I want to get to the end game and do more pertinent things, like grind the Hidden Horde. Okay, so when they were first announced, River Hobbits kind of looked like shorter men with, like, nothing unique to them, but this is simply false. This is fake news. Yes, I will be making a River Hobbit when Update 37 drops. And no, there is nothing you can do to stop me. The intro for them, like, looks amazing, but it's also, like, not long compared to some races, and it really gets you invested in these people that are, like, nowhere to be seen in any of the books or the movies. I mean, the only gripes that I have about River Hobbits are that the racial traits and upsides and downsides aren't, like, added yet, but I mean, they said they'll be altered on release, and that River Hobbits can play every class except for Bjorning. Like, I can understand trying to fit the mold that the game has put in place for itself ever since, like, more classes were able to be more compatible with more races, like the Dwarf Warden or the Hobbit Lore Master Champion or whatever. But the problem is that I don't see River Hobbits being, like, really good, like, captains or rune keepers or lore masters, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, they can do whatever they want, and they can say that this is all the way that Tolkien intended it to be, but I'm just not quite convinced that this should be how it is, you know. Obviously, let me know what you think, but this is just my opinion. Alright, so these are some really complex topics that I'm going to cover very quickly, so be sure to check out the forums for more details. So first of all, the Guardian is getting what I like to call the Brawler treatment, meaning that they're going to get their yellow line butchered and replaced with a utility line. This happened to the Minstrel and Warden, which both worked out really well, so I have an extremely good feeling that the Guardian will follow suit, you know. It'll be much better in tanking and maybe, just maybe, viable in DPS, you know, with this new utility line. A bunch of traits are getting reworked so that they're much more applicable to the overall gameplay of the Guardian in both remaining lines, and the yellow utility line is going to be really helpful to both the blue and red line, with added survivability and AoE damage. I'm really excited to see how the Guardian turns out in Update 37, and I can't wait to experience the changes for myself in my own playthrough here on YouTube. Next, all 3 Bjorning lines are getting massive buffs in their own way. Blue line is becoming much more of a viable tank, gaining huge buffs to aggro skills and getting more ways to pull aggro. Red line is getting huge buffs to its damage output with the addition of more skills and changes to existing skills, no longer automatically taking all your wrath away, like my wife after taking everything with the divorce. I'm looking at you, Execute. And Yellow line is changing its role from raid healer to fellowship healer, which on paper seems like a bit of a nerf, but in my opinion, I think that's actually a bit of a buff. See, while raids are like the most challenging part of any endgame, there are more fellowship instances in Lotro than there are raids. So therefore, I think the desirability of a bear healer would increase. Yeah, these are all like massive buffs, and I'm excited to try all of them out when Update 37 drops. Okay, so I'm gonna rattle these next couple of changes off kind of quick because there's a bunch of them and they're all kind of being added together. So here we go. Forester's event. Cool for everybody that's using a Forester's axe and good way to get cosmetics. Can't wait to see other gather events in the future. Updated Lotro store already happened, but it looks clean as hell and it's a lot easier to navigate. Lindleby housing looks cool, but it honestly doesn't affect LeBron's legacy. Quickening animations so that they all take up roughly the same amount of time. Very good and cool and excellent, and I don't know why this wasn't added sooner. And finally, no way. There's no fucking way that they're being removed. Dwarf candles are being canned from the game for good.
Oh, wow. I need a minute to think about this.
And that's it. All the changes that are coming to Lotro in Update 37. As of recording this video, it's scheduled for about 2 weeks-ish, maybe. So I'm really looking forward to getting that update and exploring all the new stuff, especially the Forester's event and some of the class changes. So yeah, if you liked this video, be sure to give it a like. Subscribe for more content. I do. I'm doing a Lotro playthrough and also update coverage. And yeah, that'll be about it for me. So I'll see you guys later.